Thanks, Renee. Thanks, everyone, for coming out. I hope you all had a good time last night. I know I did. And you're enjoying the AusVeg convention. So, as Renee said, my name's Russel Gooch. I'm a senior tax consultant working at Watermark. I actually work in the in the advisory services section. So, basically, my role, as I said before, is assisting clients gain access to the R&D tax incentive. So today, what I will be talking about is the R&D tax incentive. And we're just going to run through what it is, what are the benefits of it, and then just run through some potential scenarios of things that you may be doing in your businesses that you might be doing some R&D that could be eligible. But before I begin, what I just want to talk about is what is R&D. So when I meet people and tell them what I do, I go, I'm an R&D tax consultant. They always turn around and say, what the hell's an R&D tax consultant? You know, it's fair enough. So R&D basically obviously is research and development. And it basically, with the R&D tax incentive, it begins with your research, right? You start off, you're looking at, I want to go and do something, but I look in the market and I can't find that exact product that I want. So then you turn around and go, right, well, I'm going to just make my own product or make the market get to that stage. And you start developing and doing tests and trials till you get that product. And that's basically, in essence, what R&D is. So I don't know if you guys have noticed, but Australia is actually considered one of the most innovative countries in in the world. Sorry, that's partly because we're so remote. We're a large island, remote from everyone else, and we have to deal with some really difficult conditions. So you farmers would all definitely know this with the drought and everything like that. And we have to find new ways to deal with the drought. We have to find new ways to deal with just our remoteness. So we invented Wi-Fi. We've invented the half-flush toilet here in Australia. Those just a couple of inventions that we've done just because what we've had to deal with here to just get the job done. All right. So what is the R&D tax incentive? It's a broad-based scheme run by the ATO and Innovation Australia. And basically the idea is it's encouraging people to take the risk in doing R&D. So they encourage you by providing you with a tax offset. And it's actually for work that you've undertaken. So usually if you were to try and get a grant, you've got to apply in advance. Whereas this is sort of like, I've already gone and done the work, and I've spent the money, and I have a right to that, basically, that offset for that amount. The key to it, though, is all about this new knowledge, and it's similar to what Renee was saying before. It's the gap in what you've been doing and what the market does. So you've got what the market's doing now and what your product's going to do, and there's this knowledge gap. And that new knowledge is the key to the whole thing. So if you've got something you're doing, you're generating new knowledge on a global scale, then you're most likely eligible for this R&D tax incentive. Right, so move on. But the key thing is the benefits, right? So you're looking at the R&D tax incentive and you're saying, well, why do I want to go through all of this? It really helps people do take on the risk of doing R&D. So if you take the risk and you're pumping in a lot of money, we had people talking yesterday about the pesticides and things, and they're saying you've got to pump out $300 million off the front, and it takes 15 years before you actually see a return on that. So what the idea is, if you pump the money in, you're going to have cash flow issues. So in certain circumstances, you can actually get a refundable rebate, which means you cash out your tax losses and helps fund you do the R&D, or it might help you run your business. Then it also helps you then have a quicker return on investment. So a lot of issues people get when they start trying to come up with these ideas is they'll go to the board and say, hey, I've got this idea, but it's going to cost us a bunch of money. They're like, well, what's the return on investment on this? And it's like, well, it's going to take like 5 years once we've got it going. They all kind of go, oh, it's a bit of a risk, it's a bit stretch. But with the incentive, you kind of actually get to start seeing that return on investment start a bit earlier, and then it accelerates it as it gets towards the end of things. So they're just some of the key things that you want to look at. So just in terms of the industry, right, these are just some areas that we've found people have been doing work around. So you could be looking at improving your yields, investigating disease resistance, like the people were talking about yesterday. You've got incorporating automation. I don't know if anyone's seen the HIA have the little robot that's running around. That's pretty much a great example of automation. Then you've got adapting existing plant and equipment, changing processes. Even in changing processes, it could be just doing packaging. So packaging is a really big area of R&D for a lot of people. You're looking at trying to improve the freshness of your product or the longevity, or basically just trying to package it neater so that you can fit more into crates or whatever. That tends to actually come under R&D as well. So if any of this is something that you think you're interested in, or you think you're doing this and you want to get access to it, feel free to come and speak to me. We've also got some slides down in the AusVeg stand. Pick one up. It's got my contact details on it. You can phone me or email me. There's no obligation chats. Just give me a yell and I'm happy to talk to you about it. So I just want to thank everyone for coming. I hope you enjoy the presentation. If you've got questions about IP and trademarks, also come and see Renee. And if you've got R&D questions, come and speak to me. Thank you.